Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Swampy Comics. I'm Swampy, and right now we're going to be doing the tier list for this week's new comics of October 29th, 2025. Taking all this week's releases, throwing them up here in the Guy Gardner tier list. Let's just get started right away. First up, we got Cloak or Dagger by Justina Ireland, with art by Lorenzo Tometa, colors by Andrew Dahlhaus, and letters by Joe Caramagna. This is another entry into the Age of Revelation event. And this one stars Cloak and Dagger, but notice the title is Cloak or Dagger because they are unable to be in the same plane of existence at the same time. And they're also married now. The will they won't they has turned into a will they, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see their dynamic, and I'm not too familiar with these characters, so this is kind of a better introduction than I have in the old Marvel Knights Double Shot that I own. But yeah, seeing their dynamic, you get a sense of their characters right away, even though they're switching places for different tasks, and trying to thwart this these mutant twins that are stealing and kidnapping humans for nefarious purposes, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I did like this issue quite a bit more than I expected to. I expected to be pretty middle of the road, to just not expecting much with this one because I'm not familiar with the creative team or the characters, but I really like this. There's a lot of Age of Revelation stuff that seems like a mess, and things with concepts that just don't work. This is one of the ones that totally works. I did enjoy this a good amount. So I'm gonna put it firmly in old B tier here, right there. Let's move on to the next comic. We got The Expanse, A Little Death #2. This is by writer Andy Diggle, with a writing credit also going to Wes Chatham, who plays Amos on the Expanse TV show. I'm gonna say that every single one of these issues. But it has art by Francesco Pisa, with colors by Sarah Stern. And on this issue, we pick up after Amos was shot after a little girl defended him on the planet of Oberon, a settlement that's kind of just getting started. And with it getting started, there's a lot of opportunity for crime and corporate espionage. And, the Rocinante crew is often going into these situations, especially with Holden and his position in the, why am I drawing a blank on it? But the Transportation Guild and everything. But yeah, it's really cool to see uh, these politics happening on Oberon after the events of the. It seems like the events of the big war, um, with before Laconia and all that. Readers and watchers of the show will know what I mean, kind of. I think. I mean, watchers of the show were left hanging. Anyway, I can get really off track. I get really excited talking about The Expanse. But this was really cool. Amos is totally in character. It's cool seeing Holden just dealing with politics like he's normally stuck doing, and he's drawn to look really frustrated and tired, and I love it. I'm here for it. I love James Holden as a character. But even more so, I love Amos Burton. And in this story, you're finding out about these kids that are basically exploited for labor, and Amos isn't too cool with that. And he's trying to, you know, get at give this little girl a hand when he gets kidnapped by these guys. Turns out they were friends of his old buddy Eric, who we find out in one of the short stories later on in the Expanse series is actually a major player on Oberon. But right now he's just getting here with all the other settlers. But it already seems like he has some things going on and is definitely pulling some strings. Um, this allows the kids' settlement to get attacked, and Amos has a huge problem with it, and he goes off searching for his little ward, Aggie, I believe her name is. And oh man, it gets dark right at the end, and you're dealing with some nasty Belter underworld types. And yeah, it gets pretty ruthless at the end, and it's very in tone with the Expanse, and it really bummed me out, but it has me really excited to see what happens for the next two issues. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Honestly, I would be putting it in S tier, but my only nitpick about this one is the art was a little bland, and I'm not sure if that's the fault of the colorist, because the art is really clean and all that. And there just seemed to be panels that lacked background when there should have been just kind of solid gradients. And yeah, like I like a lot of detail. So, but I mean, it's clean art, it's good art. Everybody looks fantastic, and yeah. But that's my one little nitpick, I guess. But next up, let's see what we got. Oh, we got Expatriate X-Men. This is by Evel Ewing with art by Francesco Mortarino, colors by Raul Angulo, and letters by Ariana Mar. This is another Age of Revelation book where we have kind of some, you know, X-Men. They're called Expatriate X-Men because they're kind of living outside of the Revelation territories, refusing to be part of what he's doing. And yeah, they have a flotilla on the Mississippi River, and they're trying to rescue mutants. Um, this one I did not understand. As I don't know. I mean, it's not that I didn't understand it. It's just the tone was totally off. I didn't get the purpose of any of this. Um, I'm not familiar with our side characters like Bronze or Rift. Colossus was on the cover of this issue. Um, I barely remember seeing him. Um, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with this one. I just wasn't into it. It doesn't seem terrible. It's just it didn't grab me. It's not my thing for whatever reason. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just didn't have a great time with this one, but I'm not gonna totally crap all over it. We'll just put it now. I think it's fair. I mean, I'm dropping this book after this, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. Just not my thing. Not for me. Yeah. So let's move on. Um, Keep it positive. Still in the Marvel universe here. We got the Mortal Thor #3. And let's see here. There we go. This one is by Al Ewing with art by Pasquale Ferry, colors by Matt Hollingsworth, and letters by Joe Sabino, with another fantastic cover by Alex Ross. I don't usually shout out the cover artists too often, but when it's Alex Ross doing some of the best Thor covers I've ever seen, yeah, I'm definitely going to. But yeah, here we go. We're continuing on with our buddy Sigurd Jarlsson, who's definitely not Thor. Um, but we get it starts off with him having a dream where he's talking to Thor, or Thor's talking to him in some cryptic manner, talking about how we're like, you're me, but not me. I'm not within you, or whatever. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty obvious this guy's Thor, and I can't wait till we get to learning more about that, which we kind of get a tease of at the end of this issue. But yeah, this issue kind of deals with Thor having those run-ins with the Roxxon Corporation. It seems to have caught the attention of the Serpent, who seems like he's maybe behind some nefarious purposes, either directly with the Roxxon Corporation or not. I'm not entirely sure. I might have missed something if that is the case. But nonetheless, Thor gets attacked at work, and Thor totally kicks some ass. It is so cool to see a grounded version of Thor who isn't flying or using lightning powers and just has a hammer on a big cord, and is just kicking ass. Like, oh, I'm loving this Mortal Thor series. And after all the ass kicking, um, we see our little buddy Lucky, who totally Loki. Now we have it confirmed, because Odin comes down and he's like, "All right, man, what are you doing? So this is clearly you're doing, and you're gonna tell me what's going on." I mean, I just loved it. It was great. I mean, chef's kiss. I loved this issue so much. We're putting it in A tier for sure. Yeah, this run is gonna be I'm just buckling in. I have faith this is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Superman Red and Blue 2025 special number 1 is our next comic. And this has a few um, creative teams on it. Here, let's just go story by story here. First up, we got Priceless. This is a story by writer Paul Dini with art by Mirka Andolfo, colors by Arif Prianto, and letters by Ariana Mar. This is a cool, fun, cute story about Superman trying to find a priceless jewel in order to bail Supergirl out of some trouble that she's gotten herself into. And while he's doing that, he hits some trouble with some monsters. Then all of a sudden, Supergirl comes through and is like, I better help you to set me free. He's like, what are you doing? She's like, I broke out of jail to give you a hand. And it's really fun and in character for Supergirl. And when we finally get to the end of everything, we do find out that Supergirl was actually taking the heat for something Crypto did, which is totally rad and totally sweet of her. And yeah, she was like, well, I knew I'd just get like punished and have to go to jail or something, but I didn't know if they'd like, try to terminate Crypto, or whatever. And there's this cute drawing of him looking up at Clark with just big puppy dog cry eyes. And yeah, this story was a lot of fun. I will give it an A. Next up, we got All the Time in the World. This is by writer-artist Michael Walsh with, writer-artist and letterer Michael Walsh. And this was, let's see. Oh, I'm going to have to look and double check. I think I got 2 of the stories mixed up. Hold on a sec. All right, All the Time in the World. That was a story with Superman giving an interview, and I really thought it was fun, and yeah, it was nice. Another good Superman story. Then we have, I can't review each of these stories. Let's just go through the rest of them. We got Out of the Ordinary by writer Dan Abnett, art by Caitlin Yarsky, colors by Alice Guimaraes, and letters by Clayton Cowles. Then there's Red Letter Days by writer Rainbow Rowell, art by Cian Tormey, and colors by Romulo Fiardo Jr., with letters by Dave Sharp. Yeah, all these stories were fun in their own way. My favorite one was either the first one or the one where we see Clark constantly trying to get some time with Lois and being called away to be Superman over and over again. I thought that one was really fascinating and fun to watch, and it was just fun to see an overly busy day in the life of Superman. But yeah, I really like this special. I would say about half of the stories I loved, one I didn't care for, and the other, yeah, I liked. So we'll go beat here. This I'm not sure if the gimmick was neat. But yeah, it was cool. It was good. Now let's be nice. Let's give it an A tier. It was good. I'm probably gonna read it again at some point soon. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to a brand new book. This one's by Dark Horse. Synthetics, volume number 1 by the legendary J. Michael Straczynski, with art by Tony Parker, colors by Kerry Strachan, and letters by Steve Dutro. And this is a kind of early era cyberpunk book, or early future, I should say. It kind of felt like the movie Strange Days to me, with this underground kind of criminal ring with people trading memories. Seems really dark, and there's also corporations that are able to build human parts, and now the discussion's beginning on whether or not any of these corporations are building artificial humans and how that is ethically. And we have some really cool corporate espionage stuff, and really gritty detective scenes. I really like this. I'm bummed that I'm seeing 1 of 4 on this, because this book, I was just like, oh, this is going to fill a nice gap in the stack, but only for 4 issues, which bums me out. I hope this sells well enough and gets reviewed well enough to where maybe we get more of this kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I just yeah, I like the mystery and the suspense, and I'm excited to see how dense this story can get over 4 issues. I have a feeling like I'm gonna want more, but hey, it is called Volume One, so hopefully more volumes are planned. But yeah, Synthetics Volume One. What a pleasant surprise. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Let's just oh, drag that. Let's drag this. Head over to the A tier. I mean, A tier's eaten well this week. It was a kind of different week for me with only 2 DC books, but nonetheless, look at that! Look at that quality. 2 indies, a Marvel, and a DC already in that A tier. But let's go on to our next book by ID. This is IDW. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2025 Annual #1. Um, this is by writer Kenny Porter, with art by Maria Keene, uh, as well as art by Michael Shelfer, and colors by Rhonda Pattinson or Pattison. And man, I just kind of picked this up on a lark to fill up the stack, and I'm stoked that I did. This was great. This was cool. Just a story about the turtles getting together, and they're all just clearly have. I mean, this is me just coming into this new. There's clearly a lot that happened that I'm not aware of that it seems like we're coming back to with this thing. But yeah, they've all been apart, and they're kind of telling different stories of their adventures. Like Michelangelo has this fun story where he's like shooting a TV show or a movie, and this Japanese demon attacks him in the hills, and it turns out that it's just a mutant that is disguising itself as a demon because these people that keep this sacred mountain safe took him in after he was being hunted. And yeah, it was a really kind of cool story, and you know, showed that Michelangelo is a goofy, party dude, but still has a lot of respect for people and fellow mutants. And then Raph had a story that was just him saying like, "Well, let me tell you about what I did," and then you turn the page and it's a 2-page spread of all these pictures of him just punching people at different United States monuments. And then you turn and he's just like, "Yeah, and that was my story," and it got an honest laugh out of me. I loved that. And then I gotta be honest, I can't remember if Donatello tells a story, and if he did, I'm sorry, but yeah, you were only good in the Nintendo game. Everybody knows that. You're nobody's favorite. I'm just kidding. If there's any Donatello lovers, don't come at me. I'm just joking. But yeah, then Leonardo has a really serious, kind of dark story about this guy who was one of 4 brothers who ran like a tech company, who ended up getting turned into a mutant. And after an assassination attempt, instead of joining the sides of mutants to fight the hatred, they decided, hey, why don't we just like develop weapons to hunt mutants? And Leonardo's trying to save this guy, and turns out the guy is just like, no, just trying to lure you in, dude. Like, you're gonna be a great example for our weapons, and we need to get you off the table. It was really sad seeing Leo so betrayed, and yeah, I really liked this. I gotta say, we're boop, another one in the A tier. I mean, yeah, there are 5 books in the A tier. All the publishers eating good this week, huh? Man. But next up, we got Undead-Pool #1. This is by writer Tim Seeley with art by Carlos Magno, colors by Guru EFX, and letters by Joe Sabino. In this one, we have, some cool versions of with some offshoot characters like this girl called Fantastica, who's all stretchy like Mr. Fantastic. I mean, this character of Fearless, who's a ripoff of Daredevil. We got Kid Man Thing, that's obvious, and Magni, who's has Thor's powers, and yeah, I just thought it was pretty cool. We have Deadpool like feeling like a dick inside the head of this zombie that's just going around to kill, but he can't control it, so he's just along for the ride. And yeah, I thought this concept really worked. It's an Age of Revelation book, so it doesn't matter after a couple more issues, but I really felt like this book and its weird concept worked, especially since we're gonna have kind of a techno cable, self cable coming after him next issue. That should be interesting. The X Force is gonna get back together and take him out. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, this was a lot of fun. It didn't make any sense. Um, just like a lot of these Age of Revelation books, I'm like, what are we doing here? But the what are we doing here just kind of, oh hey, now you see my secrets. The what are you doing over here just kind of translated into more fun for me, like because I just yeah. Yeah. Age of Revelation is so weird, but I had fun with this one. I was throwing it in the B tier. Undead-Pool was cool. I'm gonna continue on with this one for sure. And next up, we got X-Vengers #1. This is by writer Jason Liu with pencils by Sergio Fernandez de Villa, inks by Aure Jimenez, colors by Rain Barreto, and letters by Joe Sabino. And in this book, we have kind of a mutant Avengers team who are respected but not necessarily dogs of Revelation's forces. Um, but they are, yeah, made up of Vision, who is, taken over by that weird techno stuff that I don't totally understand. We got Hawkeye, who now has like, was it 6 or 4 arms? He's totally Goroed out. Then we got Shang-Chi, who is just like a huge rock man who can shatter anything he touches. Scott Lang is Variable Man, who can grow smaller or larger, make himself more dense at will, but he's all physically deformed. Black Widow is now Water Widow for some reason, and Danny Moonstar and Cannibal are rounding out our group. But yeah, this was kind of fun. I thought this concept worked great for Age of Revelation, and they really probably should have doubled down on less books and more team books. Um, with the exception of maybe like Undead-Pool and Binary and or Cloak or Dagger. Yeah, a lot of these other books should have just been mashed into the same groups. Because I don't know what it was about this, but this worked for me. This really worked for me, and I'm gonna stick with this book. Um, I don't know what else to say about it. I just I had fun. Everything worked. The concept worked. All the characters worked, and yeah, it was fun to see them repelling a Kree invasion and just action and cool characterization all around. And then with this weird techno virus taking over at the end, like kind of a cool problem to have to deal with. And yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here. I'm sticking with X-Vengers. This one, I got to be honest, was one of the ones that looked the dumbest to me, and it's one of the ones I found I'm enjoying the most. I'm throwing this one an A tier. There we go. Good Age of Revelation getting an A tier out of me this week. All right. Well, you might have noticed we have no S tier this week. That's because I saved the best for last. I'm going to talk about Absolute Batman Annual 2025 Annual #1. This has a few stories in it. I'm going to talk about it a little more in depth in the Superman book because I thought this was much better. You know what? We're putting Superman back in B. There we go. Final, not moving. But I just caught myself the way I was saying that, and I was like, it's going down it here. But let's see here. We got 3 stories, or 2.5 rather. But first up we have this the cover story, untitled here, and yeah, I don't remember it having a title. Yeah, I don't think so, but either way, our first story is by Daniel Warren Johnson with colors by Mike Spicer and letters by Clayton Cowles. And this is a super brutal and heavy issue where we're dealing with flashbacks Bruce is having of hanging out with his father and asking him questions about why this hate group is doing what they do and why people don't stop them and His dad's just kind of like, I'm just one guy and I stick with what I know best, and that's teaching. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my way of helping. And yeah, then we flash forward to the future, and it seems like it's really early on in Bruce's career, perhaps when he first decided on this final incarnation of the Batman, because he's going out to buy a bunch of weapons outside of Gotham City, and he rolls past this encampment of immigrants and homeless people, and yeah, he's talking to this guy and getting all his stuff and gets all these weapons. But as he's leaving this shop, he sees these people harassing these immigrants, and he tries to put a stop to it. And then the shopkeeper hits him from behind in the head with a wrench, and all these racist guys beat the crap out of him until a priest comes out of nowhere, saves him. Um, you know, Bruce wakes up in this priest's house, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, that was pretty bad. You got to be careful." And Bruce sees this picture on his desk, and he's just like, "Oh, is this you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I used to protest peacefully. Yeah, you should basically give that a shot, man. Like, feeding into violence is no good." And Bruce is like, "Yeah, whatever, man. Well, these guys suck, and I'm gonna go take them out because they're talking about attacking that encampment tonight and hurting everybody." And sure enough, he catches them as they're about to do it, and in full Batman costume, he just goes through and kicks the asses of these like redneck white supremacist guys who are colluding with corrupt cops from Gotham's police department. And yeah, it's really cool and brutal to see Batman kicking this much ass in the way he does. And he goes as far to punching a man to death. Um, and not only that, but I'm pretty sure he killed the guy that when he threw batarangs through his eyes and then kneed him in the face. There's no way those things didn't go in deeper. So yeah, Batman has literal blood on his hands, you know, here, but it hasn't set in. But as he's punching this leader of the white supremacists to death, the priest comes up and tries to stop him, and he's like, Batman just yells at him like, "Well, this is my way of doing things," and long story short, the racists rally, but he finds his what becomes his Batmobile, runs into their fucking runs into their headquarters, and totally burns the place to the ground with a flamethrower he got from the old weapon shop, and yeah, almost goes to kill another guy, and then the priest is like, "No, we're doing this one my way. Now get out of here." And then in the last second to last page, you find out that Bruce is talking with his dad in the past, and they're talking about this picture, and he's like, "So this is you?" And you see the same picture that priest had. So like the guy that was locking his arms with the priest, Bruce's father, and is just like, "Yep, we tried as hard as we can. We did things our way, and I know one day you're gonna grow up to do the right thing, and you're gonna do it your way. No matter what you do, I will never not be proud of you." And then the next page, you see Bruce just like curled up into a ball, probably crying, realizing not only his true self and what he is and what his thing is, and it is violence, but he's killed tonight, and his dad probably wouldn't be proud of that. But he's not here, so Bruce is going to do what he's got to do. I mean, this was A-tier storytelling. The art was brutal and on point. The message worked of Bruce trying to inherit the good from his past, and yeah, it was really good. Fantastic. A plus S tier story. Like, yeah, great stuff. Next story is called Sanctuary. This is by writer artist James Herron with colors by Dave Stewart and letters by Clayton Cowles. And in this one, it's either right after the events of issue 6 of Absolute Batman, or somewhere after the attack on the community meeting with Mayor Gordon, and the first big debut of Batman to Gotham City. And we find some party animals breaking into a house, and they're looking for weapons because it seems that one of their members that brought him there used to live there, and it's his family's house. And a really subtle piece of storytelling that lets you know that this person probably lived here until his dad comes out and calls him Victor, shotgun in hand. Is that this kid is like with his skull mask on, looking at these pictures, and you see a picture of him as a baby with two dark-haired parents, and then you see a picture of him kind of like grown up a little, and then you see a picture of his dad with a lighter-haired, thinner woman. So either his mother died or their parents split, and it's kind of a cool little subtle piece of storytelling to let you kind of fill you in on how maybe this kid got to this point. And yeah, his dad comes out and confronts him, and it's like, Victor, what are you doing now, man? He's just totally disappointed and bummed that these nasty dudes are rolling around in his house, and he's just like, listen, just take whatever. Things are over here, and yada yada yada. And because these guys are looking for weapons, because they want to kill Batman because they are being chased by him. And long story short, Batman finds them, kicks all their asses. One of them does a bunch of drugs and is totally amped up and shooting like crazy inside this house. But Batman takes him out, and this father and son reconcile through the catharsis of Batman's dark violence. And I thought this was a really great story to tell on the heels of the previous one, as we're seeing a father son get back together here through Batman's way, which is the antithesis of pacifism, which was his father's way. And yeah, S tier story. Sanctuary was great. The last story, this 2-page spread, Let's Learn About Bats, is by writer, artist, colorist, letterer Meredith McLaren. And this just has a lot of fun bat info along with stuff behind these bats that you're seeing through online pop-ups and whatnot of like different events across Gotham and whatnot, kind of stand-ins for what used to be like newspapers and stuff on stands or whatever you'd see in comics in the background or people reading them. And yeah, there's not much to say about this except for one thing that I picked up on that I absolutely loved. Is that in the last panel you see this like kind of semi-crowd scene with a few people just obviously walking on a city street past each other. And there's a kid with headphones on, and it looks like he's like drawn a little Batman logo on the inside of him. And then you look closer and you see there's a man walking, and he has a Batman pin. And then I think a girl has a Batman earring, and it's a cool way of showing, without jamming it into the middle of a story, that the citizens of Gotham are picking up on the hope that Batman is bringing to the city. Like, because there hasn't been any of that. You've just seen him in action, and we're just dealing with all this super dark stuff. We haven't seen how any of the citizens really totally feel, except for Dick Grayson, riding around for the hospital saying F Batman. Like, yeah, this was a great, perfect little addition and end to this book. I'm also giving it an S tier. Because you know what? This book is the pick of the week because it is our only S tier this week. This is probably the best annual I've ever read from any comic. These annuals, I like them more than most people, but they really are give or take, and oftentimes you can skip them. This one was perfect. It was, filling into the world, giving epilogues to little storylines, giving you origins of vehicles, origins of why Batman doesn't kill. We're getting it's as corny and hack as it is to say this one had it all. But yeah, that's the book of the week this week. Thank you for watching, everybody. If I would love if you like and subscribe, and if you have anything to say, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. But until we get to our previews next week, I want to thank you all for watching. And until then, let's just keep reading. Yeah, all right.